Hi, my name's Hannah Kreitz and I'm on the planning committee for Night to Shine in Amarillo. And we are making this training video for anyone who wasn't able to attend one of our in-person trainings. So the first part of this video is for all volunteers, but most of it is specific for buddies. We'll let you know when that buddy specific part starts. So if you're not a buddy, that you can drop off. And first, I just want to thank you for volunteering for Night to Shine. This is an incredible night and it's lots of fun, but first and foremost, it is an opportunity for us to share God's love with the special needs community. Our goal for the evening is to show them how loved they are and how much they matter. So thank you for being a part of it and for sharing in this mission with us. So we will start with a couple of announcements. If you haven't already done your background check, please do it ASAP. Every volunteer over the age of 18 needs a background check. They are good for 2 years, so if you did one last year, you're good for this year. You've probably received an email from Jennifer if we're still needing your background check, so please get that done as soon as possible. The background checks are $12, but if you need us to cover the cost of your background check, just respond to the email that this video was sent with, and we'll give you the link. And I also put the link to do the background checks in that email as well, so that it'll be easily accessible if you need it. We're also collecting door prizes for the respite room, which is where our parents and caretakers are. So if you have anything that you'd like to donate to the respite room, or have a friend who owns a business that would be willing to donate something, reach out to Kelsey. I put both of her email addresses on the slide, and you can send those to her. We also are selling Night to Shine t-shirts at the event if you're interested. Those are super cute. They're $15. So the night of event logistics. So we need our registration and information teams to arrive at 4 o'clock. Our buddies, glam room volunteers, respite room gift bags, we need all of those to arrive at 5 o'clock. Red carpet can arrive at 5:30 p.m. and we will feed you pizza. Cleanup team can arrive at 5:45. We do have a few smaller teams as well. Whatever was communicated in your confirmation email from Jotform is the correct time for your team. Also, if you're a buddy and you're the one bringing your guest, such as you're their parent or their sibling, and you'll be driving them to the event, bring them at 6 o'clock and just come with them. You don't need to come early. All right, what to wear. We want our buddies to dress nicely, just to show our guests that this is an important event to you too. However, you don't have to wear formal wear. Anything between Sunday dress and formal wear is fine for buddies. Also, please dress modestly, and there will be a coat check available. For all of our other volunteers who are not buddies, we ask that you dress nicely, but you do not need to dress fancy at all. What to bring: cell phone, and then for the ladies, if you need to bring a small purse, do a small purse or a wristlet or a crossbody. That'll be a lot easier to carry around than a large purse will be. So you'll be helping your guest carry their stuff as well if you're a buddy and there's not a place to lock up your valuables. And a note about cell phones: we do want you to have them in case of an emergency, and I think this goes without saying, but please do not play on your phone in front of our guests. We absolutely don't want them to think that they are boring or not worth our time. And then regarding pictures, if you're a buddy, when you meet their parent or caretaker at the beginning of the night, ask them if they'd like you to take pictures on your phone and text it to them. And if you do want to post those pictures on social media, get consent from them. Just make sure that it's okay. Okay, so this is a map of the Civic Center. This is the full map right here. You can see is Buchanan Street. This is the Globe News Center that's across the street. And then up here is 3rd Street. The parking lot that we park in is up here. So this is a diagram of it. So here's the Civic Center, here's 3rd Street, and here's the parking lot that you will park in. So if you are able to, please park in the very farthest spaces of that 3rd Avenue parking lot and leave the closer parking spots for our guests. All of our volunteers get there before our guests, so we don't want to take all the close parking spots and have them have to walk a whole lot further, since a lot of them do have accessibility issues. There is handicap parking right here, so if you need it, please use that. We'll also have Randall County traffic control that'll be right here helping people cross 3rd Street. And then you'll want to come in these doors right here, which is doors number 3. It's at the north end of the Civic Center. So here is a map of our event. We have all 4 of these rooms rented. When you come in these doors, doors number 3, you'll immediately take a right into the North Exhibit Hall, and this is where our registration area is, both for guests and for volunteers. So when you get here, you will get in line. We have our lines arranged by first name. So you'll get in line based on your first name, and you'll get your name tag and get checked in. We do have a coat check available so that you don't have to keep up with your coat all evening. You'll get a wristband, and a coat check number will be put on that wristband if you do check a coat. Right now, the weather's showing it's going to be a beautiful 60 degrees, so hopefully there's no need to even wear a coat, but if there is, we do have coat check. Once you get your name tag, you will go to your area. So if you're in the glam room, you will go to the glam room, which is right here. Or if you're in the respite room, you'll go to the respite room, which is right here. If you're a buddy, I'll explain to you where to go in just a moment. But red carpet team, you will not come in doors number 3 and go through this regular volunteer check-in. You can park in this area over here and come through doors number 4. This is our red carpet area, and you will come in for registration right into here. This is the Regency room, so you'll just go in these doors, take a left, it'll be marked, and this is where we'll have pizza for you and drinks. We will also have a red carpet check-in area in this room. So if you are red carpet, you do not need to come in here and get checked in. If you do come in doors number 3, then you'll just walk down this hall and then take a left. The rest of this training is specific to buddies. Our information team and registration teams are having separate trainings, and then everybody else will be filled in on the night of. So that's why we ask you to come a little bit early, is to get checked in, to get settled, and to get your role for the night and to know exactly what you're going to be doing. But there is a lot of information that we want to communicate to our buddies. So if you're a buddy, please finish this video. So we'll start with what our role is for the evening. As a buddy, it's our job to make these individuals feel like they are the guest of honor. We want to make sure they're not excluded from any part of the event, that they know everything that we have to offer and are given the opportunity to do it. So during this training, we will discuss all the aspects so that you'll be prepared for the night of the event. We also have an information team of 30 people who will be there to answer questions and help in any way that you need. They will be in bright yellow t-shirts, so they should be very easy to spot. Don't hesitate to ask them for help or any questions that you may have. So, like I mentioned earlier, that I'd let you know where buddies go when you first arrive. We are doing our buddy pairing a little bit different this year. So we're dividing our guests into 2 groups. We'll have a 6 o'clock group and a 6:30 group. So guests who are already paired with a buddy are told to arrive at 6 p.m. Guests who are not already paired with a buddy and will be paired with a buddy on the night of are being told to arrive at 6:30 p.m. So that should make the buddy pairing process go a whole lot smoother. So when you get there for registration and you get registered here, if you have already been paired with a buddy, you will go into here. This is the respite room. If you have not been paired with a buddy, you'll go over here. This is the heritage room, and this is where you typically go if you've been a buddy before. So how do you know if you've been paired with a buddy? Well, you will have already received an email, or you will be receiving one very soon from Lauren Glasgow. So if you requested to be paired with a certain guest, or maybe that guest requested you, you'll have gotten an email letting you know that y'all will be paired together. We also do a lot of pairings ahead of time based on the guest needs and the volunteer's experience. So an easy example of that is if we have a guest that is deaf and we have a volunteer that says that they know sign language, we will pair them ahead of time so that we know that that guest is paired with somebody who has the adequate training for whatever their needs are. We do the same thing with guests that have health issues and we need to put them with a healthcare professional. So if you do not have any experience, please rest assured you will not be paired with somebody who has needs that are higher than you have the training to accommodate. So anyways, this again is where you go if you've already been paired with a buddy, and this is where you go to the heritage room if you have not been paired with a buddy. And we will send out the groups on the night of. We'll also have people that have clipboards that let you know if you can't remember which group you're in. Once you get to these 2 rooms, we will have a short meeting where we will go over just some critical information again, remind you of a few key points. And then at 6 o'clock, when our guests start arriving, we will take everybody from the respite room that has already been paired with a buddy. We'll bring you here to this buddy holding area. As your guests come through the lines, your name will be announced by microphone, and you will go to meet your guest, and then you'll be paired for the night. At 6:30, when all of our pre-paired guests have already been registered and are off to enjoy the event, we will bring in all of our volunteers from this area that have not already been paired with a guest. And now we'll bring you over to the buddy holding area. And as guests come in, you will be paired based on your experience and the guest's needs. So during the time where all the pre-paired guests are being paired, our buddy coordinators, who are Natalie and Brian, they work at ADVO. They work with people with special needs every day. They are going to get you into groups based on your experience as well as your age and your gender, so that when we bring you over here, we can pair very quickly. So they'll look at the guest's information card, see any pertinent information that they need to know, and then pull a buddy that is adequate for that guest and pair them up. Been paired with a guest ahead of time and for some reason you cannot attend on the night of the event, please respond to Lauren and let her know. You can also respond to the guest and let them know, but we don't want a guest to be there waiting for you and we're not sure where you are or if you're coming. So right here is where you'll get paired with your guest, regardless if you're pre-paired or if you got paired the night of. And we want you to spend a moment at this time to connect with the parent or caretaker. So let them tell you about their loved one. We will have concise information on the buddy card, but they may give you some other valuable information. You can exchange phone numbers with them and ask if they want you to text them pictures throughout the night. We are requiring the emergency contact for the guest to stay in the respite room, so every guest will have someone on site during the event. If you need to call them for any reason, they should already be at the Civic Center. And then they'll be invited to come into the ballroom at about 9:35 for the crowning ceremony, and that's when you'll give the guest back to their parent or caretaker. It'll be after 10 o'clock, but they should come and find you at the end of the night. We'll go over the checkout process at the end of this training. Some of our guests will be with a group, and you may not get to talk to their caretaker one-on-one, but if possible, please do make contact with them. Also, just a note, parents or caretakers should not be dropping off any type of medicine that needs to be administered throughout the night. We're not responsible for this. If the guest needs medicine during the event, the parent or caretaker will come out of the respite room and give it to them. All right, we have a buddy card that we've prepared for each guest. These cards will have their name, their age, emergency contact information, and any relevant health concerns, sensory issues, and allergies. It'll also have a fun fact about the guest to help you spur conversation. It is imperative that you read this information. Some of them have a lot of information on them, and some of them have barely any. But please read that information. Every year we get questions from buddies about their guest, and those questions are answered on the buddy card. So those are important to read. Please read them. And then as you're leaving the registration area at this little table right here, we're going to document which guest was paired with which buddy. We have volunteers that are going to guide you through all of this. So I know this is a lot of information, but I'm just trying to explain what all will happen. Again, you don't have to remember every bit of this. So we'll document who is paired with who, and then we will give the guests their gift bag. So the Tim Tebow Foundation provides us with a drawstring backpack for each guest. It's theirs to keep. Inside that backpack is a crown or a tiara, and you'll get these bags right after check-in. So help your guests keep up with their bag. It'll also be handy for carrying their stuff. You can put the buddy card in it after you read it, and anything of yours that you need to put in there. So after the guest gets their gift bag, you will leave the registration area and walk through the glam room, which is right here. So there's a little door right here. You'll come into the glam room. The parents and caretakers will then leave for the respite room. So they'll just take a straight shot over here, come in the respite room, and then you guys are off to have some fun. In the glam room, the guys can get their shoes shined, they can get their hair done, the ladies can get their hair and makeup done, and there's a jewelry table. You'll want to stay near your guest while they're in the glam room. They can skip it if they're not interested, but this is a fun way for us to get to pamper them at the beginning of the event. We also have limo rides and a red carpet. So this year we're going to have 7 limos. Between limos, party buses, and trolleys, there will be seven different vehicles. So we hope that there will not be a line for limos like there was last year. Buddies will take the ride with them, and the limo ride will be about 10 minutes long around downtown. So again, back to our map, when you come out of the glam room, this will be the limo pickup line. They'll come out doors number 2 to get in the limo. And then we'll ride around here, and then when you get out of the limo, it'll be doors number 4, and this will be where the red carpet is. So you'll get out of the limo and walk your guests down the red carpet. So while you're in the limo is a good time to prepare your guests of steps of what's going to happen next, just so that they're less likely to get overwhelmed or anxious. The red carpet is one of the guests' absolute favorite activities, but there are a lot of people and loud noises all at once. So you just want to let them know what's about to happen, especially if this is their first year to be a guest. So this is their moment to shine. Again, they love the red carpet. We want to make it as positive and as fun as possible, but it's a good time to just mention to them what's about to happen. If your guest has sensory issues, that will be listed on their buddy card. So if it says that they're sensitive to loud noises, as they're helping you get out of the limo, tell the doorman that's helping you get out that you need to do a quiet red carpet for them. And we will have our team lead for the red carpet, Chris. She will let everybody know that we are doing a quiet carpet. It'll still be fun and exciting. We just won't be loud and have music, and it'll be less likely for them to get overstimulated. The limo rides on the red carpet are one of their favorite activities, and many will want to do it over and over again. So if a line does form for the red carpet, and for the limo lines, and you guys have already gone a couple times, try to redirect them to something else so that everybody gets a chance. However, they can walk down the red carpet multiple times if they'd like to. So if they are just enjoying the red carpet, you can go out these doors right here and come right back in and let them walk down the red carpet again. We will also have 6 photo stations. I think 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them are located inside the heritage room, and then there's one in the glam room also. So we'll have volunteers that will take pictures with their phones or your phones at each of these stations. Now, you do not have to do these activities in order or at all. Let the guests choose what they'd like to do. Be sure to offer all the options, but feel free to do these activities in any order or to skip any if they're not interested. One activity that you cannot skip, though, is eating. We need to make sure that every guest eats. United is doing the catering and the food starts at 6 o'clock. So make sure that they do stop to eat. We have food for all the volunteers as well, so please eat with them. The food lines are in this area right here. You'll enter in right here to enter the food areas, go through the lines. But the tables for eating are over here in the heritage room. So you'll get your food, you'll walk across the hall to the heritage room, and there will be volunteers that will help carry your plates, or especially the guest plates, from this area over here. There will also be water tables in here in the heritage room. Make sure that you and your guest drink plenty of water. If your guest has food allergies, they will get a colored wristband when they register, and it will be written on their buddy card what their food allergies are. We have a special meal for them that is allergen friendly. It is imperative that you make sure that they get their correct meal. Now, again, they will have a colored wristband, and we have a dietitian in here, and our servers know as well not to serve anybody with a colored wristband off of the regular food lines. There's an allergy table in here. Again, our dietitian's there. She will have a meal with their name on it to make sure that they get something that they can eat and that they don't have any allergies to. Here's more of the limos and the red carpet. All right, dancing and karaoke. So in the ballroom, which is the heritage room, there will be dancing and 4 karaoke rooms. The karaoke rooms are on the far east side of the room. So over here, there's 4 different karaoke rooms. And then there is a big dance area in the middle of this room. So the dancing will start right at 6 when guests start arriving, and it will last the entire night except for when we stop to do the crowning ceremony. Please make sure that your guest does stop to drink water and to take breaks. If your guest is in a wheelchair or uses a walker, don't assume that they can't dance. Offer to wheel them out there and to dance with them. They will have a blast. This event is all about including them in the things that they normally get excluded from. So even if they have mobility issues, offer it to them. See if that's what they want to do. And just a note about dancing. If your guest wants to dance, please dance with them. It will make their night if you dance with them. This event is all about the guest having fun, and we promise we won't make fun of you afterwards if you look ridiculous, because we will all look silly together, but our guests will have a blast, and that's all that matters. So karaoke rivals dancing is the most popular activity. This year, we will have 4 karaoke rooms. We had 3 last year, and they were packed the entire time. So you can sing backup for your guest if you want to, or you can just watch and cheer them on. We will be closing the karaoke rooms by 9:30 this year. So last year we had people singing on the karaoke stages all through the crowning ceremony and at the end of the night while we were trying to clean up. They did not want to stop. So we will be closing those at 9:30 this year, just be aware. So again, the event has a very casual and open flow. Suggest things for your guests to do and follow their lead. If they want to dance all night or do karaoke all night, that is perfectly fine. There will be tables and chairs set up here in the heritage room, but there is not enough seating for everyone to sit all at the same time. So you can sit down to eat or to rest from dancing, but when you get up, other people will need to be able to sit in those seats. So please don't save seats while you're not sitting in them. Don't leave your stuff on chairs. We will have a cleanup crew. They'll be picking up trash, food trash, and keeping the tables clean so that they're ready for the next set of people. And then at the end of the evening, about 9:40, we will play a video message from Tim Tebow, and Roland Taylor, one of the pastors at the loft, will give a short gospel message. And then we will have a crowning ceremony. So buddies will crown their own guest. Make this a special moment for them. Tell them how important they are, how loved they are. The parents and caretakers from the respite room will come in for the crowning ceremony. So if the parents are there, you can include them while you're crowning them, or get some pictures of them with their loved one. Okay, so that is the end of the night. This year we are implementing a checkout process. So when guests arrive and they go through registration, they will receive a wristband with a number on it, and their parent or caretaker or whoever brought them will receive a wristband with that same number. So before I go any further, I want to explain that there are two primary living situations for our guests. So some live at home with their parents or another family member, and in that case, the family member is the one who brings them and the one who takes them home. Other guests live in a group home that's ran by an agency. So they will come as a group and leave as a group. So if your guest is with an agency, it will be on their buddy card, and the code on their wristband will start with letters. So for example, it'll say ADVO 101 if they're with ADVO, or Community Options 237 if they're with Community Options. However, if they are not with an agency, their wristband will only have numbers. And again, we will go over this at the beginning of the night and again at the end of the night. So after the crowning ceremony and the event is over, we will first dismiss all the guests that are attending with an agency. So on the screen, we're showing where each agency will meet up. And we'll show this same diagram on the projector screens as the event is ending so that you'll know where to go. So if your guest is here with an agency, you'll be dismissed first, and you will walk them to the specified location and check them back in with their agency. That agency is also listed on their buddy card, and again, will be on their wristbands, and then the information team can help you if you're not sure where to go. But we have all these different agency locations set up. So if they're with Community Options, they'll be coming just right across the hall. If they're with ADVO, they're in this back area. Texas Panhandle Centers, in here where the food was. And then DNS Community Services and Rest Care will both be in the original registration area. So we will have volunteers at each of these doors checking wristbands and making sure at this point that the only people leaving are those with an agency. That accounts for about half of our guests. So once half of the people that are in this room leave, if you have not already found the parent or caretaker that brought your guest, it will be a whole lot easier to find them at this point. Back to the agencies. Sorry, I missed something. Whenever you get them to this station, we will have volunteers with clipboards, and it will have all the names of the people who are with that agency. So you'll need to check them in with whoever has the clipboard, and at that point you are free to go. You've checked them back in, your role as a buddy has ended. You can get your coat from the coat check area and you are free to go. So back over here, if your guest is not with an agency, you'll find the parent, and once all of the agencies have cleared out, we will dismiss the individual guests. And so at these doors, our volunteers will match the parent's wristband with the guest wristband, make sure that they match. And at that point, your role as a buddy has ended, and you are free to go. This is our first year to do the checkout process. We think that it will go pretty quickly. Hopefully it will. But yes, please be patient with us. We expect that everybody should be out by 10 or 10:15 at the very latest. All right, that covers the logistical information for the event, but I do have some more helpful information that I want to give you. So a few basic rules for our buddies. One is you must stay with your guest at all times. So you should always be close enough to them to reach out and touch them. Of course, there's a few exceptions, like in the bathroom stall, or if they're singing karaoke and you're sitting and watching them. And you can take dancing breaks even if they want to dance all night long. But in those cases, you should be able to see them at all times and are close enough to assist them if they need help. Again, please read that buddy information card. And if you do have questions throughout the night, that's your first place to check to see if that information is listed on the buddy card. Volunteers should never go off alone with any guests. So you need to stay in the main event areas at all times and always maintain physical boundaries and in no way encourage your guest to view you as their boyfriend or girlfriend. You will be paired same sex as much as possible, but that won't be the case in every situation. As long as we can, we pair females with females, males with males, in approximate age for as long as we can. But usually towards the end of the buddy pairing process, we'll be out of a certain age group or gender. So we just use who we have left. Like I said, there is an information team. There is 30 to 40 people on the information team. They will all be in bright yellow shirts. There's also 3 information tables throughout the event. I'll point out where they are. They're here in purple, so 1 here, 1 there, and 1 here. Those are where you can go if you have questions or need help. We also have a large medical team this year, including lots of students from AC's nursing program and their instructors. They will be in their scrubs and easy to identify. We're expecting 50 of them, so they should be all over and very easy to find. There will also be a first aid table that's located right here. But the medical team, again, they'll be walking around. They'll be looking for anyone who needs help. If your guest has any type of medical issue at all, please find someone from the medical team to check them out. This includes if they fall, even if you are able to help them up. And again, the emergency contact information is on that buddy card for every guest, and they should be in the respite room during the event. There will be some guests who need assistance in the bathroom. Most don't need any assistance, and the chance that a buddy without experience with special needs gets paired with someone who needs bathroom assistance should not happen. But we do have a bathroom team. There will be a nursing student from AC in each of the bathrooms. They will be on rotating shifts, and they'll keep an eye on your guest while you go to the bathroom. They can help with hand washing, but if a guest does need help inside the stall, they will call someone who is trained to come in and help with that. So I want to reiterate, you will not be expected to help with any bathroom tasks. Security. We will have church security and APD officers. So they will be looking for any type of safety issues, including people without name tags being in the event area. So the name tag you get at the beginning of the night, that is your ticket to be in all of these spaces. It shows that you're here and you're supposed to be here with us. So if you need help with anything, find somebody on our security team, find a police officer, and again, the information team. We do also have a sensory room. So our sensory room is right here, right at the end of the red carpet and right across the hall from the heritage room. In the sensory room, we have trained volunteers running this room. So they have calming activities in the sensory room to help any guest if they become overstimulated or having any issues. They will help them calm down and help them get ready to go back to the prom. Also, sensory issues and some tips are listed on the buddy card. So if a guest has sensory issues or are prone to get overstimulated, that information should be listed on the buddy card. So I'm going to go over just a little bit about what overstimulation is, just to give you an overview. So overstimulation is experienced when one's placed in a situation which overwhelms their senses, either physically, visually, or auditorily. In instances like this, it might be necessary to allow your guest to have a moment in the sensory room, which is designed to decrease the anxiety associated with overstimulation. So some signs of overstimulation is yelling, rocking back and forth, shutting down, and refusing to move or speak, increased hand movements like tapping their face or flapping their hands, doing squats and rubbing their knees, jumping, or increased self-talk. Some tips to avoid overstimulation is a calming voice, offer choices to escape the situation, take the underhand approach instead of overhand movements. Ask them, would you like to go to a different area? Do you want to go do something else? Don't argue with them during this time, but if you do need to grab somebody to help you, grab a nursing student or somebody from the information team or just a volunteer that's close, that's noticing what's going on and might be able to help you, especially if you don't have experience with special needs. Most of our guests don't have sensory issues and won't get overstimulated. And if you don't have experience with special needs, it's very unlikely that you'll get paired with somebody who would become overstimulated. But we want you to be prepared just in case. So medical situations and what to do. We will be pairing guests with health concerns with a buddy who is a trained healthcare professional. Again, please pay attention to your guests' food allergies. And when you're providing them with any type of food, don't assume that they can get their own food or that they know their own food allergies, no matter how high functioning they may seem. We have special meals for guests who have allergies. And those will be at a separate table in the food area. And then just some general tips. Please be mindful when having conversations or asking questions regarding your guests. You'll want to do this in a discreet, respectful manner if you're needing assistance. So if they won't eat or they're yelling or they had an accident, we don't want to shame them or embarrass them. Do that discreetly. Our guests are just like you and me. They have feelings and emotions. And last but not least, they have hormones. So an important thing to remember is that if your guest is not dancing with you, it's still important to be near them and assist them with appropriate boundaries with others. All right, I'm going to show our slide one more time with our map. We will send this map out by email and also by text message if I can figure out how to do that on a mass scale. Save it to your phone so that you have access to it throughout the night. Also, our information team, they will each have a map on their clipboard. So if you're wondering where something is, you can ask them, but it'd be best to just save a copy so that you have it at any time. If you do have questions, you can email our volunteer coordinator, Jennifer Tyndall. Her email is jennifer@nighttoshineamarillo.com. Well, thank you for listening to this entire training. I know it was long, but I want you to be well prepared for your role as a buddy. I think it will be an incredible night. Our guests always love it, and our volunteers always love it too. So we're so excited, and we will see you on Friday, February 7th at 5 p.m. Again, reach out if you have any questions, and we will see you there. Thank you.